Scooby-Doo Toilet's getting a movie, guys. It's been talked
Can we just
about.
do the intro? Good morning, let's argue. Why did we... I don't know why I did that. I feel like I dropped something.
We are clearly dumb.
Hold on, wait. Nobody move. I'm going to take a picture of you. Okay.
What?
I just wanted to take a picture of the viewers. But they'll never see it, so I guess that doesn't really make any sense.
Wait, what did you take a picture of?
The people who are listening, watch. Because we're talking to them. It was a dumb joke, don't worry. Okay, anyway,
Clearly it was a dumb joke. I should have gotten a picture of that.
I'm gonna have to cut out some of this, and now I gotta clean it up. That's gonna be wonderful
for
to listen
context, he just put his
I ate it.
mouth
Just
on the mic.
don't sugarcoat it.
Just
I
like
ate the thing.
the orangutan. What is it? The orangutan with the... Was
With
it a microphone?
It was like a microphone, yeah. And he just goes... Or it's like that clip of Markiplier when they put the microphone in his mouth while he's like trying to talk.
Oh, yeah.
He's going like, oh, we need another mic.
We do.
We desperately need another microphone.
Or we can just like... kiss it up, close up.
Hey, baby girl, how you doing? No, I'm not going to do that. That was kind of loud.
Oh. Hey, guys. I'm trying to see how loud it is. Just whisper.
The way you didn't move.
Hey, guys. Today we are...
Okay.
This is a podcast.
I'm calming down now.
Okay, so... I guess we're talking about...
balls and their effect on the economy.
Okay, well, we got two options.
Oh, flashbang.
We could do Dead by Daylight, or do you want to do something that's, like, popular today?
You mean, like, Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight is pretty popular.
It's been popular for forever. I mean, I don't know. What else were you thinking?
Is there any, like, viral game, movie stuff that we need to talk about?
No, but you know what I just thought? We should do another episode later when we do an episode with... We'll do an episode with Blue Shirt Guy, and we can talk about Evo.
What's Evo?
That's the Tekken 8 championship that we were going to watch that we never got around to watching.
That's true.
We should watch that and then talk about it a little bit, because that'd be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you have nothing else, I think we should talk about Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Are there any news? Okay, oh yeah, we usually start with news. Shut.
Okay. I honestly thought you were going to say nudes.
Why would I say that? For what?
You were like, alright, so is there any nude... And you kind of stopped there.
New. New is a word. Okay, anyway. All I know for news so far is that they're doing a contest right now, which lets a lucky artist get their character design in a game. So they're going to hold a contest. The winner's submission will be added as a cosmetic into the game. And there's one for the killer, survivor, and I think there's a charm or something.
That is cool.
So that's news.
I like that.
And then coming up on August 6th...
Is that going to be...
I'm guessing it's probably going to be an unlockable in the store or something.
Oh, well, I was talking about Was it Castlevania?
August 6th, Castlevania is coming out. It's not related to Castlevania. But with Castlevania, we'll probably be getting Dracula as the killer.
Hopefully. Unless if it's just like skins, which would still be cool, but a killer would be pretty nice.
The fact that they've been hyping it up for this long makes me think I feel like there's no way that it could be anything but a killer.
I don't know, honestly.
I'm going to look at the trailer description and see if there's anything about it. Or
look at the comments, too. That could be
I don't trust the comments as much as I trust the people posting stuff.
That's true, but...
Oh, there's also, in terms of Dead by Daylight news, there was also a lot of development stuff coming out about their game. They're coming out with the casting of Freak Stone. The Tomb Raider collection just came out along with 2v8. There's a lot happening.
2v8 is pretty awesome, but it needs work.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it's unbalanced. I feel like the survivors have a big advantage.
I agree.
So, obviously, there needs to be some more balance in the game.
Based on the teaser trailer, the fact that it shows both the castle and Dracula leads me to believe there's no way that we don't get both of those things. I don't know if there will be a survivor.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool.
But it's not needed.
But I
honestly prefer getting a new killer over a new survivor
Survivors
every time.
Useless. We don't need them. But think of it this way. Konami also made Silent Hill, and they've been more than willing to collaborate with Dead by Daylight because they've got 2 skins for Pyramid Head, including a blighted one, which means it's a pretty close relationship overall. And they got a map
For Pyramid Head?
for Pyramid Head. That's Konami.
He's actually got 3 skins.
Yeah, that's what it said.
He's got the white
2
one,
alternates.
The other thing, and the other one.
Wow. No, there's his main outfit, and then his Nightmare outfit, and the blighted outfit.
And then there's the Molten Metal one.
Oh, well, the Molten Metal
Which
one
I
is the
have.
Nightmare one. But, like, there's the basic one, the Molten one, and blighted.
But there's a total of 4, including the base skin.
No, there isn't.
On Pyramid Head, right?
No, there isn't.
There is.
Oh, yeah?
I promise.
Let's find out, because I want to know what it looks like. Let's see here.
I mean, there are 4. I'm not trying to argue with you.
You sound
saying.
like idiot. But anyway, my point is they're under Konami, and Konami seems more than willing to collaborate with Dead by Daylight. So that means we're probably going to be getting something cool for Castlevania. They're not super strict about their IP. And Castlevania has crossed over with things in the past multiple times. So this wouldn't exactly be the first time that...
I don't know where
But
to
look
look for skins.
Me neither. I'm just looking
So
online.
here's one of them. It looks like the blighted skin, but it is not. That's what
That
I
is the
have.
blighted skin.
Is it?
That is 100% the blighted skin, unfortunately.
That is the blighted one. I have. Oh
It
wait,
looked-
no. Blighted. Remember, they're very similar.
That's the Molten and the other one's the blighted then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I have the molten one. I don't have the blighted one. I promise.
Okay, wait.
And then there's like the one when he's got the chains around him or something.
Oh, Corrupted, Pyramid Blight, and Forge Board.
Fire.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep, 3. Gosh dang it.
I'm sorry.
Shirtless Pyramid or Skirtless Pyramid Head is a mod for the game apparently. Look at that.
It's
Got very manly legs. Interesting.
I don't like that.
Moving on. I think it's decent. I think it's. I think. I would guess we're likely to get a lot of Castlevania stuff. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. Because game developers know, like they know that collaborating will make you money,
Yeah.
So like, why not do it? You should probably sit closer than that. But
True.
so like, I don't know what we can expect. I think what we're getting probably will be a map, Dracula, and hopefully a survivor like Simon Belmont or something like that. Richter, Trevor, maybe. That'd be cool. I would really like a blighted skin for Dracula.
That would be
probably
sick. Well, we
cool.
want a blighted skin for everybody.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying if they were to add Dracula, I would hope for a blighted skin. Yeah. Dracula, by the way, better have a serious lore update because when Vecna came out, they were like, by the way, Vecna's only here for fun because he could just kill the entity if he wanted to. And if they don't say that about Dracula too, then they're not getting the lore right because Dracula is just straight up like untouchable in Castlevania
today, and he's broken.
Interesting. Okay, so what was it specifically we wanted to talk about Dead by Daylight today?
As what you suggested, we get to talk about our killer suggestions, like our ideas. Cool killer.
Cool killer. Hey man. Yeah.
I already know our top pick.
Oh well, now I don't know if my topic is.
Boots.
Oh yeah, guys. One day, right? I'm sitting in my basement, itching my balls, and all of a sudden I'm like, bro, you know, it'd be so cool, bro, for like a killer in Dead by Daylight.
What?
It's like the
Hey.
wolf. Let me finish.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
That was the sounds of death.
Okay, well you spoiled it now. My idea was, what if we
Did
got
I actually just spoiled it?
is
That's funny.
what if we got Death from Puss in Boots 2 as a killer, and he's like kind of stealthy but kind of speedy with like his little.
Kind of like the Huntress, That would be such a sick.
But only once, and when he
radius.
enters someone's terror radius. So like not often. It would
That'd
have
be
to.
interesting.
It would have to revolve around the ability that he can kind of become undetectable by default, but as a result, not move as fast when nearby, or maybe he moves fast only when he's nearby.
Still, it's honestly, in my opinion, hard. I mean, perks are really hard to come up with because there are so many perks now, And
it's hard to make them balanced.
Yeah, you have to balance them. And then as far as attacks go, I mean, you want to take stuff from the killer's lore and movie and integrate it into the game, but at the same point, you want to make sure it's unique enough because it's possible a different killer could have a very similar kind of moveset kind of thing.
True. That's why I think Demogorgon could use a kind of update from
Demogorgon
Xenomorph. They're
very similar to
very similar.
3 of them.
I mean, that's
name,
true. But Demogorgon has a portal. Xenomorph has a portal. They both scratch with their claws.
There's a lot of portals.
Yeah, there's a lot of portals. But, like, they bury in the ground is more what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know. I just feel like some killers are kind of repetitive, but I think there's a lot you could do with the game still. I'm not saying that there's no room for them to make more. Like, I think Dracula's a unique killer, because in Castlevania, he could move really fast while he was in his bat form. It made him fast, it made him hard to hit.
Well,
so that would be very interesting to watch.
I don't mean to, like, argue against you, but there's a lot of killers, like, their main power is basically being fast.
Right, but I'm thinking, like...
the Legion, obviously.
But I'm thinking, what if there's a scenario where he turns into bats to get through obstacles he couldn't? Because, like, think about pallets, right?
Yeah.
That would stop a full guy. But, like, if he turns into a bunch of bats and flies past it, then it would be a little bit faster than a normal vault, in my opinion. But
so...
that's just an idea.
I don't know why I feel like this would fit. I know there are killers who are better at breaking pallets than others. Some
right, like Nemesis is insane at it, and
when he gets
a
tier 2 or 3,
yeah,
with the whip,
basically chasing anyone for about 2 seconds.
But like one of his special powers could just be pallet break.
Yeah,
I don't know, and it could be used for something else too.
Yeah, I think some kind of Juggernaut-y style perk would be really cool, like something that just makes it so that once you've been chasing for a certain amount of time, like maybe after you've chased for 30 seconds, you gain a token or something.
Yeah.
And then that token can then be used to insta-smash a pallet in front of you once. And then, you know, as many tokens as you get, you can insta-smash while someone's stunning you. But that's just an idea, you know? There's tons of things you could do with perks.
I feel like that's already in use.
I thought it was, but the best you can get is like Spirit Fury, which breaks the pallet when they push it on you.
Although, I know Chucky... he can, like, jump over the pallet and attack you.
Yeah, he can scurry. He's got, like, a whole move for it.
I think he does that. I could be wrong, because I played him once.
No, you're right.
Sucked.
I think you're right.
So.
Wesker does something similar, because he can vault pallets, and most killers can't do that. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're here to talk about new killer ideas.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Well, we suggest their powers, but I feel like it's hard to do with death.
Yeah. I feel like the best you could do... So, here's how I see it. In the movie... he's never particularly hasty to kill Puss, you know? He's always given him the run because the hunt is part of what he enjoys.
Oh, maybe it gets haste from long chases.
Exactly. I'm thinking...
extra haste.
So what I'm thinking is, while traversing normally, he's probably not the fastest guy. But when he's in an area with more survivors in it, he's a lot faster.
It's all about... chasing survivors.
It's all about chasing and hunting them down. So he'd probably have good aura reading abilities, but not super high speed. Maybe like nurse speed.
Like nothing special with generators and whatever. It's all about chasing.
More about chasing survivors and getting them knocked down.
It's not like teleporting either.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be...
he could probably have the most stylish swinging animation ever, because remember how sick he looked in the movie?
Well, and low-key, he was kind of scary.
He was a little bit terrifying.
Like, I wasn't like, oh, mommy, I'm scared. I was like, dang, that's scary, bro.
I was like, I'm having nightmares at some point about that. All I could think when that movie came out was like, this guy is effectively made himself scarier than most characters I've seen in horror movies with a single scene. So, I truthfully think he could be a scarier killer than most characters in DBD right now. And if he used the whistle as a, like, mark of... so he could also use the whistle to, like, scare people, give them, like, a scream, you know?
Yeah.
And that reveals them for a second or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
Survivors, well, because remember, Puss in Boots is, like, terrified.
Yeah, he has, like, the whole, like,
he can, like,
arm raise
scare
thing.
the survivors.
Yeah, like, maybe he whistles, and then they're like, oh, shoot, like, if they're nearby. Kind of like Doctor, but not exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, that's basically the same thing. There's a way to
well, but, like, except they don't
you
get madness. You make it hard for them to find. Maybe make the terror radius indiscriminate, or, like... all over the place.
Now, realistically, we're
be
probably the first people who have thought about him as being a killer.
Yeah, I don't think Behavior or DreamWorks is exactly going out of their way to... I think the fan base wouldn't be mad if they added him. I'm just saying I don't think Behavior DreamWorks has ever thought we should add that guy in Dead by Daylight.
I don't think anyone's really thought of that before.
No, probably not. And there's no one itching to get it out the door, but I think it'd be cool.
I don't know if like DreamWorks would allow that because probably it's a kids game, and then they're putting it into I said a kids game, kids movie, yeah, and then they put it into adults violent game.
It's just a hypothetical thing, and I think it'd be really cool.
It'd be awesome.
I hate the argument against, like, people argue against adding FNAF to Dead by Daylight because they're like, oh, it's immature, it's made for kids. It's like, oh yeah, that series about...
Y'all played FNAF 4.
That series about murderers stuffing children into animatronic suits and the corpses rotting the entire pizzeria. That's totally
the first one's not scary. It's just not. I mean, there's jump scares.
Well, no, it's tense, though.
What is scary about it is the lore.
Yeah.
It's not a kid's game.
I guarantee if you played it again, you'd probably get scared a little bit. Because it's pretty intense.
It's tense.
It's very intense.
Especially on VR. That's a whole experience.
The VR is by far the best version of it. FNAF 4 is decently scary, too. Yeah,
I guess let's talk about the animatronics being in Dead by Daylight.
So, I saw an interesting idea. We watched this video together, and it's instead of Springtrap, which is probably the fan favorite to get in. I think if anyone were to get in, more people would be happy with Springtrap.
Well, here's the cool thing, though, is that they could do a moveset for Springtrap, and then they could just do skins for Freddy, Chica, and all the others, but it's the same moveset as Springtrap, so anybody can play.
I agree, and also... Oh, right, that's what I say in my thing. Freddy and the gang would also be a cool animatronic. I'll put a link in the description probably for this, but there's a really cool video detailing a concept for a killer that goes between the 4 animatronics, and when they're not active, they're just walking around.
The night-ish.
Kind of, but more like they're all like doing their own thing. You can't go between them whenever you want. They all have their own unique powers. And there's a bunch of unique attributes about it. I think that would be so cool, and in my opinion, that would be the best way to implement Five Nights at Freddy's the way that it would be. That would be pretty creepy.
I feel like a good power would be like there's total 4 animatronics. You're one of them, but there's 3, and they're just always hiding in a locker.
Yeah.
And so there's quite a lot of lockers, but you're still taking a chance every time you go into one.
Well, and that would be a problem, I think, though, because, like, if someone sees that they're fighting Freddy, it's like, oh, I guess I will not go into a locker for the entire game. You know what I mean? Like...
Well, like, I get that, but
it's not entirely bad, but, like, it would be a non-worth-it risk for a temporary reward.
Can still be used quite a lot. I mean, for hiding perks, there's a lot of locker perks that people love to use. Like, the locker perk that helps you heal, or the one where you burst out and stun the killer.
Yeah.
That stun one is used in a lot of bully squads, so I feel like... And then they can't use it, even though they may not go into locker, that still puts more pressure.
It's not that I think it's a bad idea, I'm just thinking out loud, like, what would be the counterplay? Because DBD is a hard game to balance.
It is.
And if you need any proof of that, Michael Myers is... like one of the worst characters in the game, but you can do crazy work with him. Like, it's not an easy game to balance.
Even with Freddy.
I mean, Nurse has been nerfed how many times, and she's still basically unstoppable. Like,
basically, you can't still considered the best game, or the best character in the game.
So yeah, I did see a really cool idea actually, where like Scourge hooks.
Yeah.
So someone had an idea where it's William Afton, right? The purple guy or whatever, and instead of hooks, he has animatronic costumes that he locks you in.
Yeah.
And like, not as a hook, but like it could be a hook state. And you have to use like skill checks to dodge the spring locks to get out. And someone would have to manually help you get out. But like, I thought that was a really cool idea because that's what he does in the game's lore, That would be pretty sweet.
I just came up with a few ideas. Ideas. One of which I've told you before. This one I just made up. The one I just made up could be like... Again, I prefer they do an actual separate killer for them, but like, let's say they reskin Trapper as the animatronics. But the traps, they trap your head in an animatronic thingy, right?
That would be sweet.
I mean, not like the pig where you can walk around, like you're stuck in that spot.
Like stuck in it, yeah.
Or maybe get trapped in a hidden suit when you step on it, or whatever. That'd be cool. And then I told you this one before. A reskin of the twins with Chica and the Cupcake.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty awesome. Just saying.
I remember, because before that I told you, and this is honestly an idea where I thought of it and I was like, I feel so proud of myself for this one. But like, a Blight skin for Foxy feels obvious to me.
Yeah.
And that's not the one I'm super proud of. The one I was proud of, I was like, dude, if Funtime Freddy with Bon Bon as his hand took over for the twins, that would be so cool.
But Bon Bon could walk around.
And Bon Bon can like walk around and say, oh, it would be so sweet. Because that's what he does in the games. He just chucks him. He's like, all right, bye. Yeah. And he runs around. Oh, that'd be so sweet.
That'd be really cool.
Like, FNAF can work into that game so well that the fact that we haven't gotten it yet is the funniest part about it.
Okay, well, that's what we gotta talk about, is licensing and all that crap, which I haven't watched any specific videos on what the issue is, because clearly, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I feel like it's obviously the most requested killer.
Oh, easily.
Like, for the longest
By
time.
far. Not even close.
And in my opinion,
no competition
the Dead by Daylight team does try their best, whilst they're still earning money, to please the fan base.
They do a really good job of it when they can.
And yeah, sure, they still try to rack in the dollars, but, you know, compared to like Apex Legends, which is losing players like crazy, they honestly just don't care at this point. I still see the care in Dead by Daylight.
You can see it in the like they'll fix things fast.
Yeah.
There's a video. This video probably hasn't gone up by the time our podcast episode comes out. I'm just like manspreading. Anyway, by the time this podcast episode has come out, this probably won't even be up. But there's a clip that Dallin took. I was playing Wesker, right? I hit him. Bro goes into like car stance. You remember this? When he was like, when Dallin was like sideways?
I have that.
They fixed that like the day of. And so like, I don't know what it is, but like Dead by Daylight, it's almost like they have good developers over there. But my point is like, it's like you're saying, there's absolutely no possible way that they haven't seen the requests. Like, there's no way that they're seeing their fan base and not thinking they want Springtrap so bad.
At what they've added, Alien, Chucky. I know they were working really hard to get the licensing for all these things.
Yeah,
and
especially like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
and they barely got anything out of it.
Of course, you know this too. The person who holds the rights to Five Nights at Freddy's is a little bit, well, not a little bit, quite a lot picky with how his stuff is used.
He's very protective. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's almost, it's a very similar situation to DBD. When something's not going right, he wants to be in charge of his franchise so that it doesn't go wrong. Exactly. Like, for example, I just explained this to you already, but I'm just explaining for more context. The FNAF movie was on hold for like maybe
years.
Like 10, like somewhere between 10 and 7 years.
I actually looked at it today. I'm pretty sure it started production in 2014.
That's crazy.
I think it's 2014.
That's like when the game came out though. That's why I was literally questioning it.
Somewhere around 10 years.
So yeah, like within the last decade, a majority of the decade, it's been in the works. And it's because Scott, it's not because Scott doesn't want a movie made. It's because he wants a movie made that he knows the fans will enjoy. And that's why the end product was like 95% audience rating or something like that when it came out, the movie. So like that's a big deal to him, but hold on, I'm not done yet.
Sorry.
But also a big part of it is now the rights are being handed around like crazy, you know? Because Help Wanted and Help Wanted 2 and Security Breach were not developed by Scott alone.
Yeah.
He had the help of Steel Wool Studios. So those rights are there too. So if it's me, I'm thinking this is probably the hardest license to obtain or the easiest, and it's just a lot of disconnect or something.
Yeah.
Because they've collabed with stuff now. So have you seen the trailer for the Funko Fusion video game?
Yes.
That Funko Pop video game?
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's is in that.
Really?
Which means, and this is literally the first time they've collabed with a video game, as far as I know, ever.
Yeah.
Which probably means they're up to doing it now.
A good sign, yeah.
Which could be a good sign that we may get Springtrap in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Sometime in there.
But what I was saying, the FNAF movie is a whole conversation. There are things I liked about it a lot, and things
it wasn't scary enough, bottom line. I feel like the bottom line for what I didn't like, it was like everything was good. It just wasn't that scary.
Okay. I had
the mouth.
3 main issues. Other than that, I did like it. obvious issue, not scary enough.
If you say
Second
Vanessa,
issue,
I love you so much.
Vanessa.
Oh my gosh, she was
Third
so
issue,
weird.
Springtrap took off his mask.
Well, I mean, he had to reveal his face
Now,
at some point.
and I get that that's part of the story, but for me, when he came on screen, he was really cool and intimidating. I was like, dang, but then he took off his mask.
And then he was like, I always come back, man. Do you know that guy played Shaggy in the live action movies?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Speaking of which...
Wait, before you say that, I'm comparing this to the Buzz Lightyear movie with Zurg.
Oh, no, please.
Zurg was so cool.
God,
and then
that
he
movie was
just
so
Buzz
bad.
Lightyear.
We don't need to talk about Lightyear. I'll throw my chair. No, speaking of which, Scooby-Doo... Bro, how have we not gotten something Scooby-Doo related? I mean, obviously I know why, but like, come on.
Well, we have Velma, though.
What?
No, we don't have Velma. So
Velma's in there?
No, she's not. What I'm saying is Scooby-Doo, kids movie. Or kids
Oh, you
TV
mean
show.
Velma, the adult TV show?
That's an adult TV show, right?
Yeah.
I think
There's a lot of blood in that show,
With-
actually.
it's rated TVMA.
Yeah.
So, and I think with that, if they allowed that, I feel
There's
like
a chance.
they definitely would be okay with adding something to.
I mean,
Dead by
it
Daylight.
wouldn't be the first time that Scooby-Doo collabed with a horror franchise. I mean, in multiverses, you can play as Shaggy and Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
You're going to be out of the mic if you sit like that.
But I don't know. I think that'd be awesome.
I think it'd be fun
But
for
I just
maybe
don't
like
know how
cosmetics or something.
how requested that is.
At the least, like a little charm maybe of Scooby-Doo's little...
Okay, a
leash
Shaggy
should be
survivor
cool.
though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It'd
You
be
just
so
have
funny.
the
Like,
squad as a.
like, where am I, man?
Yeah, with voice lines. When
Like,
it gets hooked.
where did my friend...
Where am I, man?
Or like, if the killer gets stuck behind a pallet, have him say, "Boy, am I glad that he's stuck over there and I'm right here." That would be so great, dude. Could you imagine?
When he's stunned.
The killer just goes, "Brrr," and he's like, "Boy, am I glad that he's stuck over there and we're over here."
Oh, what killer from the TV show would be good?
From Scooby-Doo?
Like, what's an iconic?
I feel like those,
Bad guy.
like, there's a lot, though. Like, the original TV show had a lot of characters that were, like iconic and showed up in a lot of other episodes. One in particular that they could do without it being Scooby-Doo related that I really want to see is a diving man, which is always spooky. So there's this episode where this guy comes out of the swamp and he's in like a 1920s diving suit. Have you seen those?
I know that one. Yes.
They're so creepy looking for some reason. And I feel like with a harpoon or something, it could make for a really creepy looking killer.
Oh yeah.
It would, I don't know.
It could be violent too.
It could be, yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff down in the deep. I feel like there's a lot you could do with cosmetics in that department, especially blighted.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel
Or
like,
even just alternate bad guys for skins.
Yeah.
There could be so.
but like even in terms of just making it like a 1920s diver suit, there's so much you could do with the concept of underwater that I'm surprised they haven't landed on that idea yet.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
It's definitely Scooby-Doo one is quite interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
But one of my favorite ideas that I've come up with, I don't know if anyone else thinks this is a good idea or not. This franchise is more horror in the books than it is the movies, but there are definitely some horror elements, especially in the first movies and in some of the later
Looking
sequels
something up.
in the modern era. And that's Jurassic Park. I think if they added the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park, it could make for a really cool killer.
Well, and what's cool about that, the Velociraptors aren't like huge like the T-Rexes.
Right. They're
Now,
like,
obviously,
they're taller than the humans, though.
most of the time the Velociraptor's going to be moving slow, which isn't really how it works in the movie because they can basically always be fast.
And that could like be like its killer power though, just like rushing or something like that, or like a big leap. Because in the movies and in actual history, it was, at least from what we know, Velociraptors were quote unquote known to jump at their prey with like their feet and hands up like this, and their big claws would dig in because their claws on their feet are humongous, so they could dig into the back of whatever they're trying to kill and knock it down using its body weight.
Yeah.
It was incredibly effective.
Instant down.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
As
the
like
thing,
a jump
though.
kind of a thing over pallets. Not anything like Demogorgons. Something more original than that.
Oh, I know. That's what I was getting at is, you could find a way to integrate that, but there are so many leaps and speeds in Dead by Daylight at this point.
I think you need to make it a combination of being stealthy, good at hunting, and efficient. Because they're dinosaurs, you know? They're effective killers. They can find what they need. they can effectively disperse of it, and they can do it quickly.
Yeah.
So a small, or a killer that can move slow and stealthy, like maybe give him a crouch, kind of like Pig, but a little bit different, that charges up a leap. That way you can only use the leap when you're sneaking, and then you can pull up on people very quickly, get hidden, and then jump. I also think the Mori would be really cool.
Yeah.
Above all else, that would be a sick Mori, because they have some of the most gruesome kills in Jurassic Park.
But again, I like your idea, but I still feel like it's very similar to Chucky and Demogorgon and a lot of those.
Yeah. But at this point,
it's just tough to make it unique as well.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's a lot of killers I feel like you could be like, well, that's exactly like this thing, kind of a situation.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like you kind of gotta say, okay, well, this aspect is uniquely combined with this aspect. You know, like Mario and Dr. Mario and Smash, you know? Like, they're different, but there's a lot that's the same, but they're distinguishable.
So, I can't remember how it works, but Chucky can basically jump over the vault, the pallets, and I think windows even. Dang it. I was going to say, the Velociraptor could go through that or something. Yeah. Well, since it's a Velociraptor, maybe one of its general powers, like not its power that you control, but it
just like
does actions like breaking generators, breaking pallets, vaulting through windows, just generally like 10% faster.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And you could even make like an add-on that says like, if you press the activate ability button, the next rushed action you do is way faster, but you can't do it again for like 50 seconds or something like that.
I can't remember. You can make fun of me.
No,
it's been fine. A while since I've seen all of the Jurassic Park movies, which I have seen them all, so I'm cultured.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Are the Velociraptors in the original 3?
Yes.
They are?
They're in the iconic scene where the girl and the guy, the little kids, are hiding in the kitchen, and they're like, don't worry, we'll be fine in here. And the Velociraptor is just like, okay, and he opens the door with his hands, and they're like, oh, we're cooked. Wow. Like, that realization of just like, oh, well, we're gonna die.
Do they travel in packs?
Yes, and that's the main thing I was gonna be like, is like, oh, well, I mean, you could try to integrate some kind of pack thing.
Yes, so
similar to the Knight, maybe.
The Knight, or...
Ooh, I just had a cool idea.
There's others that do things
what if, bear with me, because this may sound stupid,
okay.
But what if you've got like 3 Velociraptors, right? Or maybe just 2. And when you're running, they're all together. Kind of a bigger killer in that sense, but like they're effective as just one killer. Hold on, let me just finish real quick.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. And then like maybe you can do something similar to the Knight, but instead of sending them the direct path you want to, you can have them sneak around the side of an object, and if anything walks in front of their field of vision, similar to the zombies for Nemesis, it will leap and attack, but they're undetectable when you send them out that way. So then you could set up traps around stuff like the shed. You know how the shed is like impossible to get around for the killer? Yeah. With like the window, the door, and the pallet?
Oh my gosh.
You could make it...
There are some killers, it's just like, you have to give up on that chase, dude.
Like the hard counter that Velociraptor would have would be insane.
Yeah.
I think that could be a really cool idea for a killer.
I have another good idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's say you have 3 Velociraptors, and you just hit yourself with the one Velociraptor.
Right.
But your power is... or maybe there's 2 powers, but one of them is you do a hit, but you all form in a triangle facing in different directions. And this is happening quickly, and they all hit at the same time. So survivors trying to juke you.
It's like a bigger area?
Like, basically just a big hitbox of hit.
That'd be a sweet attack.
Because they're hunting as a pack.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. And then you could do, like the thing you said... You could do either one. You can choose to have them hunt with you or hunt separately. Maybe.
Yeah. You could also do something similar to the twins, but a little bit different. Maybe have 1 Velociraptor, if there's 3. Maybe have 2 Velociraptors that just walk around doing nothing, similar to the zombies, but kind of more like Victor. You can switch between the different Velociraptors as though you're the entity or something. Make some dumb lore excuse, I don't care. And the other 2 don't attack anything. But they'll like do like that loud like grr, grr. I'll play the sound right here. They'll do that noise to alert you of the location of something.
Okay.
And then they'll chase it or something like that. But bear in mind, every Velociraptor does this regardless of which one you're playing as when they find something, and it will chase for a little bit. Not as good as a human maybe, but it will chase. And if you switch to that consciousness, which you can only do like every minute or so, whatever.
So like
Then
limited,
it kind of wait, like who?
limited on how much you can switch.
Yeah.
'Cause I was about to say, wait, you're describing is the tins, the
twins.
the tins,
The twins with
the
zombies.
twins,
essentially.
but broken.
Yeah.
Because you got 3 to switch.
But
But
essentially-
if you put a limit on how often
Yeah.
you can switch, then
Not to mention-
you'd have to conserve it, and I feel like maybe then it would be a good mechanic.
And on top of this, to make it not so bad for the killer, the one drawback would be when switching consciousness, you stop moving. That both velociraptors stop moving, because
Or
then
if-
you get a few seconds of brief
How about
escape
this?
for the survivor.
When you-
Hold on, let me just finish this.
I'm
idea
so
real
sorry.
quick.
I'm coming up with
It's fine.
ideas as you're talking. You say something,
So,
I'm
like,
wait,
yeah.
what about this?
So, like, when you're switching, you kind of pull a wraith and take a second, and the other one won't move for like 10 seconds. You can keep running as the velociraptor you switched to, but I completely lost what I was going to say.
May have been my fault.
A little bit, but it's okay. Oh, crap.
It's
Oh, yeah,
alright.
but to make up for it, he can be a little bit faster after switching. Like, once he switches, he gets a little bit of a speed boost for, like, vaulting or something. Maybe something along those lines.
Wait,
I think that
so-
could be really cool.
Here's my idea, which is similar. When you switch to a new one, that's when you can like jump rush or whatever.
Oh, yeah, so
but
that's
only
pretty similar.
within like 2 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds of your switch.
Yeah, oh, that's
Because
a
like
good idea.
let's say
But maybe you're a little
the-
faster during that time.
you haven't switched yet, so
Kind of like a lunge. Sorry.
yeah, and you're walking around. It sees the survivor, starts chasing it a little bit, and it relatively slow chase. So you switch to it, and then it disables switching for like a minute or 2, I guess.
Right.
But you have a long lunge now.
Yeah.
Not a lunge, like a jump, kind of like
Yeah.
Chucky. I don't know.
Just like they do in the movie. No, I get that. That's a good idea. It's kind of funny now I'm thinking about it out loud. I feel like if velociraptors were in a scenario in Dead by Daylight, they'd probably be the most effective killer of just about anyone on the roster besides Vecna.
yeah.
Like, they would get it done in, like, maybe 10 seconds. Like, they're super fast. They can jump. They've got
Yeah.
huge... Anyway, that's just an unrelated
But-
funny thing.
Realistically, if we were on the team that was coming up with ideas, right?
Mhm.
We'd be writing this all down on a piece of paper. Alternate, attacks, perks, whatever.
Yeah.
And then there comes the designing and programming, and then it's like all the play testing, seeing how balanced it is. It's actually quite a lot of work.
Yeah, and that's why I honestly admire them for how much they're able to pump out in such small amounts of time.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of
I feel like
crazy
they're
with
very
it.
passionate.
They are. I think so, too. Oh my gosh, could you imagine a blighted velociraptor?
Dude, that'd be sick.
That'd be so sick. Another killer that's kind of obvious. I actually have 2 that are kind of obvious. But one in particular...
Wait, you do yours, and then I have one.
I was just going to name 2 that were obvious. This one is probably the most requested that isn't from a video game. And it's Predator. I feel like I think the Skull Merchant was their idea of, we can't get the Predator in the game. Here's your makeup for it.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. And then the other one I was going to talk about is... oh, and by the way, it's because Warner Bros. Is super protective of all their stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other...
Ferrari.
Yeah, and Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Ferrari.
I don't know why he's it
It's,
either. But
well,
I just
actually, it's because I collect Transformers, and they
they're-
very rarely can get the licensing from Ferrari, because Ferrari's just stingy about it.
Oh, really?
Same with Hot Wheels.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure Hot Wheels is still on bad terms with Ferrari.
Oh,
And
wow.
I don't know the story, but I just feel like
Imagine being
Hot
on
Wheels
bad
did
terms with a
something
toy
on
company.
accident, and then Ferrari got pissed.
Imagine being on bad terms with a toy company that makes tiny cars. Anyway,
I know.
the other one I think that is not maybe as popular as the Predator is one that I genuinely think people probably request, and I'm kind of surprised there's not like at least a cosmetic for it. And I think it'd be really cool. T-800 Terminator would be really sweet.
Dude,
in my
which one's T800?
That's just what they call them, is the T-800 Terminators.
So
They're the ones
wait.
with like the skeletons once you rip them apart.
So
I think Terminator would be sick.
I've seen like 1 or 2 of the Terminator movies. I've seen Terminator 2.
So like Arnold
when-
Schwarzenegger
When
is
he's
a
the good
Terminator.
guy, because I'm pretty sure in one of the movies he's bad. I think.
Yeah, some Terminators are bad, some of them are good.
Well,
Or
Arnold
one of them is
Schwarzenegger,
good.
he's good in one of them, then bad in another.
I don't
Pretty
know.
sure. I don't know.
Terminator's probably
But it would be cool. They could do a skin where one is Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's the killer, and then another one where it's just the robot.
yeah. You could also make a Survivor skin for Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator because he's like a good guy, you know. And he has a lot of survival skills because he can't really be killed technically.
And there's the one girl and all that stuff.
I haven't seen Terminator in long enough to know what you're talking about.
I've only seen the second one.
And like,
good movie though.
I feel like you could do a lot with Terminator. If nothing else, you could do some kind of crazy cosmetic for like Deathslinger or maybe Singularity. There's a lot. There's awesome. A lot you could do with Terminator. And
actually, Singularity, I feel like would be a little too hard because you know how.
Well, but here's the thing:
sprawled out.
Terminator's the like, the metal, like the
probably.
liquid metal can like fuse into like anything though. Because remember, it like gets shot through.
That's true.
And then just melds itself.
I feel like
you could do something crazy with that.
Unfortunately, they might have to mold him too close to Singularity just because like.
Well, then just make it Singularity but infected
sizes.
by a Terminator.
And that
sort
could be
of
cool.
Thing.
As
or
like, kind of a blight kind of skin.
Yeah, or like a
Terminator.
Singularity infecting Terminator, whichever one you want to do. Predator, though, we need to talk about Predator because what are they doing with Predator?
So, first of all, I'm pretty sure what you said was correct. They were having trouble with licensing, and they came up with Skull Merchant, which, you know, guys, I love the team that creates Dead by Day. I don't know what it's called.
But Skull Merchant, dude, what on God's green earth?
So, there's a lot of problems, which you agree with. First of all, her finisher is trash.
Oh, it's garbage.
Second
it's
of
the
all,
most boring one.
She looks so boring.
There's nothing interesting about her character at all. Nor does she look capable of killing anybody at all. If she didn't have a giant knife stuck to her hand, she would be completely useless. Not to mention, there's a big beefy guy that's a survivor who could probably punch her in the face and kill her. She's all skinny and stuff. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then she's actually, her mechanics are good. And it's boring to go.
But they're annoying
boring
to fight.
To go against, but here's the thing. Everyone's complaining about one killer or the next.
Well, but people will genuinely, like, Skull Merchant players keep you captive in the game to grind off of you. That's their whole goal. So if you just disconnect, then they get to face the fact that they don't get to do that.
Yeah.
So disconnect from Skull Merchant games, guys. Be toxic. Only to Skull Merchants, though. Because here's why I think they replaced... Here's why I think Skull Merchant's from Predator. Because it's not even the first time they've done it. You know Hillbilly?
Yeah.
They weren't sure if they could get the rights to Leatherface, and that's why Hillbilly exists.
Probably.
Because... No, that is actually the reason. Like,
I just didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So they were unsure if they were going to get the license. They had a deadline to meet. They wanted to make another killer. But they didn't know if they'd be able to get Leatherface. So they were like, screw it. Keep the powers. Keep whatever we've got. Turn it into a different killer. And then when Leatherface actually was licensed, they were like, okay, so we can, like, actually make Leatherface.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking Skull Merchant bears a striking resemblance to Predator's with his giant arm thing.
I watched the YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure it was... I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they basically confirmed, like, yeah, this is what we did instead of Predator.
Yeah. Because, like, she's got an eye scanner. She's got a giant knife coming out of her hand. She's got a metal arm. She hunts people with scanners, not like Predator does exactly, but pretty similar.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any cloaking like Predator, but she might as well.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Also, I was going to keep on complaining. She's not intimidating at all.
No.
And part of it is her size. She is bigger than the Survivor.
Only because she has to be.
But not that much. And
she's proportionally incorrect. Her head is incredibly large.
It's so boring.
Lamest
I'm not
idea
gonna
for a
lie.
killer ever.
She's ugly.
True. I
mean,
agree.
yeah, they're killers. I mean, no one's hitting on. Actually, the clown's kind of thick. Just
that's
I'm kidding,
fair point. Well, you can't say no one's hitting on the killer when you've got Huntress, Spirit. I don't want to say Onryo, but she's 19, so probably.
Oh gosh.
That's a dead chick.
Let's
but
end that.
I don't trust her. I'm just saying it's true.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not that she's ugly. She's just, again, visually
she is, though.
unappealing.
There's nothing
which
interesting.
Which they should be as killers, but it's the wrong way.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Every other killer has a unique flair to them. She's just a chick with a blade on her arm. As far as I'm aware, she could be a bad guy that gets killed off in the first episode of an anime or something.
Yeah.
She looks like a single Ninja Turtle could beat her with his hands tied behind his back. Like, she's not that big of a threat. Leon could shoot her once and she'd die.
Yeah.
She doesn't look scary, which is what makes her so annoying. Because when you're fighting someone like Chucky, he jump scares you, because he's got so much stealth perks. That's scary. when you get pulled up on by a random like liberal mom or like lesbian lady, I don't know what her deal is, but she looks, I don't know. She's definitely a Karen of some kind. When she pulls up on you, it's like, oh no, I better not get hit with like an HOA like notice or something like that. Like she doesn't look scary at all.
Well, and I remember the cinematic trailer release
Oh,
for
it's so
her.
boring.
It was just like,
All she does is
what?
like put on her arm, and I was like, I don't even know what this chick is supposed to even be all about.
yeah.
We're getting off topic though.
Let's move on.
Let's talk about what we would do with Predator though. Because I think
I have not seen the Predator movies.
You haven't?
No.
Oh my balls, dude! It's so good.
You haven't seen Terminator, so.
No, I think I've seen the first one. I said I haven't seen it in a long time.
Oh.
Or maybe I said I haven't seen it, but I swear I've seen the first one. I distinctly remember some parts of that first movie like it was yesterday.
The Matrix?
No, because my mom won't let me. My dad is like, you should watch it, and I was like, well, I can't because mom said no. He's like, yeah, you're right, but
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll watch it at some point.
There's
it doesn't matter.
nothing. It's PG.
It's
basically
PG-13 with an R rating. That's what I've
is.
heard. Anyway,
Actually, do you want to know why it's rated R?
no, I know why it's rated R, and it's because of bad words. That's literally all I've ever been
Here's
told
the
about.
thing, though. The whole runtime of the movie, they say one F word, but in
Now,
the end credits, they play the one song by Rage Against the Machine, which says the F word like 20 times. In the end credits. That's why it's rated R.
dang. Well, no, because up until recently, you can have only one F word in a PG-13 movie. You can now.
It's been like that for a while now.
No, but like recently, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not that big of a
Transformers
deal.
3.
It doesn't matter that much at all.
2012,
It does
3
not matter
F-words.
at all. Not even a little bit. 3?
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second. Are you serious?
I'll bring up the evidence.
I'm just saying that's crazy because like now you can only have one. You mean to tell me Matrix?
Can you actually only have one now? Did
Yeah.
they just change that back?
That's what the law is now.
Now,
Game
what's
theory taught me
funny, Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon is known as a movie that pushed.
Why are we
PG-13's
talking about this?
limits.
Can we stop talking about this? This is completely unrelated.
Well,
It
do
has
you
nothing-
believe me that it says 3 F words?
Sure, I don't really care. It doesn't matter at all.
Because I
to
have
me.
the evidence.
I don't
but
care.
If you don't believe
It doesn't
me, I'm
matter
like,
at
alright.
all. It's completely unnecessary.
Well, I don't know why we.
Here's what the Predator does in the movie. First of all, he is invisible. He can turn invisible, which may sound
Value.
redundant, but it's
The
pretty
Wraith.
cool because he can still attack while he's invisible. Duh. But he has a major disadvantage. He cannot see things that don't have a thermal rate, like thermal, that aren't heated up.
I know what you
So
mean.
at one point, Arnold
hope the
Schwarzenegger
audience does.
hides from the Predator by
Wait, is
covering
Arnold
himself in
Schwarzenegger
mud.
the character?
Yeah, he's the main character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So in order to hide himself at one point, he covers himself in mud, cold mud, so the Predator can't see him. So they could build a mechanic around him being able to attack if he can see you, and you're cold, like you're not cold. or
Oh
something.
yeah, it could be like a map interactive thing, kind of like with the alien set of the turrets.
Yeah.
And the play, you have to take off her. Bomb,
Exactly.
Whatever.
And here's why that would work so well is because even when he's not invisible, he can only see with thermal vision. He has no other option. Unless you take his mask off, but that's a whole other thing. So what they could do is give him a ranged attack like he has in the show, or a claw attack. Either one is fine.
That could be cool.
And then give him invisibility for a small amount of time or something like that, and the ability to see things, but only if they're thermal. That would make his invisibility huge, outside of the fact that you can see his eyes, because you can see his eyes when he's invisible. So, like, maybe he can be invisible, you can see his eyes and his gun, but he can't see you unless you're warm. That would give him a huge advantage and a huge disadvantage that he'd have to work around.
Yeah.
So,
That'd
I
be
think
very
it could be pretty cool.
That'd be cool, but if
He also skins people alive, which would be a sick Mori.
I really do think they would have given us the Predator if they could get the licensing for it.
I think definitely.
Which I don't know where is it Warner Bros.
I think it's Warner Brothers. Yeah,
I don't know where they're
very
at
stingy.
with their licensing. It could be years or
I mean, like,
never even, depending on how well they continue to do with money and whatever.
Yeah, true.
How
Because
much
like,
they care.
because like
too.
Alien was Warner Bros. And they were only allowed in Warner Bros. Games for a while until they got like the rights taken back from them from like the author or something like that.
Yeah.
So like now he's able to she's able to be in any game or whatever.
Unless you
yeah,
have any more ideas, I want to move on to my idea.
let's hear it.
Okay, it's for a new killer. So are you good with switching?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you don't
So-
know anything about the printer.
There is an artist. His name is Trevor
Oh,
Henderson.
I know where this is going.
And yeah, you know where this is going. He is the one who created Siren Head, which actually probably not anymore, but maybe 4-ish, I think like 5 years ago, Siren Head became a very popular online, basically a conspiracy theory. Like
About 4 years ago.
people thought it was real, like Siren Head was real. OMG, Siren Head spotted in the forest. Oh God. But there's this artist who actually created Siren Head, but he actually creates a lot of other things, and you guys can look him up, Trevor Henderson. But are you looking at the photos?
Oh, yeah, no, he's made some incredible art.
He's
It's
got-
all very uncanny. This is my favorite picture of Siren Head ever,
I love that
where it's standing in the trees and you can't see him.
And his top 3 most famous ones, obviously Siren Head. He's got this dinosaur thingy.
That one's
goes in the
cool.
Clouds, and then there's like a hand from the clouds.
Just look up Trevor Henderson right now if you're listening to this, and look at some of his illustrations. They are actually gorgeous.
The horse long neck thingy.
Yeah, that
I'm pretty
one's
sure
cool.
that was originally him.
Here, you're
too.
kind of close to the...
I'm
Actually,
sorry.
no, it's fine. You're it's no problem.
But the point is, the Siren Head thing was kind of cheesy.
This
Well,
is The Unknown drawn by Trevor Henderson.
that's awesome.
I know.
So
He could probably make it scarier.
Siren Head, I actually liked him. Like I thought he was kind of creepy. You know, well, the internet made him so mysterious. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't believe he was real, but it's just like he's this hidden monster in the forest that's really tall.
Yeah, like he
kills
should be
people.
so easy to see, but at night he just becomes a whole... It's such a cool concept.
And
Like,
again, he was actually requested in Dead by Daylight, and I don't know, like, enough for them to care. And again,
I think the main problem they're looking at, and this is going to come as a pretty obvious issue, is the fact that he is about, 36 feet tall, which is a little bit of an issue. But,
well, I gotta work around that.
well, no, I'd love to hear that. I'm just saying,
Um,
I think the main issue people were thinking is, well, he's as tall as the trees. So
Yeah.
what can you do about that?
So, and again, I don't know how this guy, Trevor Henderson, is with his art. If
Well, I mean,
he's willing to make a deal with Dead by Daylight to, like,
just a real quick, I don't want to
for
interrupt,
money.
but this is kind of important. Trevor Henderson never copyrighted Siren Head from what I can tell, which is why there's so many unofficial games related to him. So I think technically
maybe that brings
they
up
could
more
literally
issues.
just, like, I think he's public domain. So they could literally
Must
just
be.
put Siren Head in their own interpretation if they wanted to. But anyway, you were saying.
I don't know how it all works, but he really was requested by a lot of people, and which brings me to my next point, like possible powers, which I've forgotten a lot of them, but actually I used to think about this a lot for no reason. So one of them being normally like he's a tall killer,
Yeah.
like Nemesis tall,
Oh, okay.
but he's got a special power. This is one version where he grows for his power super tall, and you can see the whole map.
Imagine if he could make it, like, really creepy, the way that he grows, you know?
Oh, and
Like, imagine he just, like, grows
his
in an
terror
uncanny
radius
way.
sound
Oh, we all know what it
could
would
be
be.
the siren,
Yeah.
obviously. Which I feel like would be cool. As far as attacks, I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah.
His Mori though, I feel like he'd have to grab them and how
And eat
the
them in the
siren
sirens.
has the mouth,
Yeah.
just chomp their head off.
That would be cool. That'd be sweet.
I honestly just love the idea of Siren Head for
Yeah.
some weird reason.
Me too. Trevor Henderson is an amazing artist.
And dude, this guy got some creepy stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that gave you nightmares.
A popular character that I really hope doesn't... Actually, this is a good question. If you could pick one character to never make it into the game, what would it be?
To never make it into the game?
Yes. You can guarantee that they will not get in the game. Because for me, it's
Okay.
Slenderhead. Or Slenderman.
Slenderman?
Yeah.
Um,
I have a lot of problems with the fact that that story even exists at all, and that it's popular. For so many
Okay, so
reasons,
I
but
know
I don't want
your
to. I don't
one
want to.
reason.
I don't want to bring it up on the podcast because I don't think that's worth discussing right now. I
well,
don't want to.
we can quickly discuss it.
Well, no,
'Cause
I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth it. It's just not anything that we should speak about. It's nothing of our business. It's a more serious topic than what we're talking about on this episode.
I know. Well, so here's the thing. I didn't know this before until you brought it up, right?
Yeah.
Because me personally, I don't mind Slenderman, but there's the whole thing in real life with someone getting
okay. I just think if we're going to talk about it, if you want to know more about why Slenderman is so controversial, look it up. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it on here. It's an uncomfortable topic for a lot of reasons. A lot of people who don't deserve to have been harassed for the story's existence and the movie. That's all a whole different thing that I don't want to discuss. I don't think it's worth bringing up on here. I just think the fact that the story exists still and we don't have any problem talking about it like nothing happened is just a little bit wrong, you know? Like, not exactly unconventional, or like not like wrong, but a little disrespectful. And that's, I don't know. It's none of my business, but if it was up to me,
Slenderman is not real.
It's
the
not.
actual Slenderman's not real, but there has things to do with someone dying, and
we don't need
I
to
think
get into
the
it.
actual reason why, the movie came out and a lot of people were offended by it because of it. I don't have a stance on this, honestly, because I don't know anything about it besides, someone died. So
Yeah. Point is, I think it would be disrespectful to the family who suffered from that to include a character like that. I think it'd be disrespectful to a lot of people who got affected by it, and just, I don't know. I just don't think it's right.
Although,
it is a real thing that happened.
All right,
it was very
see.
bad. And so I just would prefer them not to add that out of... It's not that Slenderman, the creepypasta, isn't a cool character. It's the fact that it's tied to something so gross and dark that we shouldn't act like it's a normal and okay thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being...
Okay, well, I think we can talk
paranoid
about this
stupid
on the
about it.
channel because it's being real.
I just don't
But,
want to. There's no reason to.
We don't need to talk about the actual it being in the game, but the whatever.
I just would rather them not add Slenderman if I could pick. What about you, though? If you could make it so that one character never gets into Dead by Daylight.
Well, real quick on the Slenderman thing, I don't really know much about it, so I don't know. Other than that,
Oh, actually, another
don't
answer of
know.
mine would probably be Pennywise. I hate. Okay, I should probably just think before I speak now. It 2017 is the worst horror movie almost
it was trash.
that I've ever seen. And the original interpretation from the book for Pennywise is so good that I don't think they could
I
ever
haven't
do
read
it
the book.
justice. You should read it.
Well, I've heard the books are phenomenal.
Stephen King is an
His books.
amazing writer. My point is, the original movie did a pretty good job.
It's solid. Now, obviously, it's old movie now, so it's not like amazing, but it's still better than both.
It's
of the new
creepier.
ones.
And that's what matters. And I don't think they should ever touch it if they're not going to do it right. And I don't know why, but I just don't trust them to,
But dude,
to do it right.
I remember back in the day as a little kid. I wasn't that little, but the new It movie was released, right?
Yeah, 2017.
And it looked so scary. I wanted to see it, and I finally just watched it like a year ago. I was disappointed. Not only was it scary, it was not entertaining.
Did you say
it was boring?
It wasn't scary? Is that what you meant?
It wasn't scary.
Okay.
But it was also not entertaining. It felt like a short runtime. It was kind of cheesy. Pennywise was...
The CGI was atrociously bad, honestly.
I just thought it was so weird. And then the second one came out, which
It was
that's
even worse.
Oh my gosh.
We don't, like, if anything, I just don't want them to, if they're going to include it, take the Onryo route and base it off of the original story, not the so Onryo is based on the original Japanese version of the story, which is way different, by the way, from the American story I found out recently. If you're going to do it, base it off of the book, which would be cool to see them interpret it, or the 1990 movie. Maybe it's I think it's somewhere in the 90s. Point is, don't base it off the 2017 one. Maybe make it cosmetic, but do not base it off the 2017 one. It's so bad.
Now,
just
what you said, make a cosmetic of it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But Base Killer, please, not the 2017 one. I completely agree with you.
Thank you. What about you?
killer.
Maybe I just have stronger opinions on people not making it into the game, but it's just something that I feel like is interesting
feel like
to talk about.
Somewhat. What's a horror movie that I just hated?
I don't know, man.
But well, I didn't like
Should we
Lights
look-
Out, but that's not really
That
relevant.
character wasn't really.
Well, here's the thing:
monster.
it's not popular enough to be in the game.
Not only that, how would you even add that?
That was done.
House of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Alone in the Dark, Troll, Hellraiser, Jason, Book of Shadows, Cabin Fever, Fear.corn,
I feel like
Jaws. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if they had a Jaws?
That would be interesting.
Okay, Leprechaun, I would genuinely like in the game as like a skin. That'd be cool.
Like,
How when
is
he
he short?
Yeah, he's the same
He'd be
size as
like a
Chucky,
Chucky
essentially.
skin.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh, please don't add him
That
either.
that wouldn't even be allowed. So.
Yeah. No, it would.
Really?
Yeah, because Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey came out when Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay, well then let's move on to this question.
Oh wait.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say Frankenstein, but at the same time, I feel like Dead by Daylight does a good job at making things pretty cool in the game.
I agree. That's a fair point.
What I
though.
mean by Frankenstein, I honestly,
You mean the
a
monster,
lot of
right?
people might be angry at this, but the original Frankenstein to me is just so cheesy, like that stuff from the 50s.
Like bringing him back to life and stuff.
It's not the story, but the actual movies themselves. They're old movies.
Well, yeah.
And they're so cheesy to me, and I feel like
I've
I could
heard
be
the
wrong,
original.
but every iteration that I've seen, I haven't actually seen any of them, but I've seen clips, and it's like all the Frankensteins are just they're goofy.
Yeah.
There's nothing scary about them. They make them. I just don't like it.
I
don't
think
like
it's-
the whole thing.
I wonder if the books are any better, but I've heard the original Bram Stoker's Dracula is apparently really scary. I don't know. I'll have to watch it.
I think Dracula. I'm not a big fan of vampires, but
Me neither.
Um,
But conceptual, I think they're pretty scary. Honestly,
it's
when
better.
done when right,
and
they're
especially
really good.
with Castlevania.
Agreed. Castlevania vampires are so scary. Okay. A last question because it's getting late
Yeah.
and we need to. Oh, it's not. We haven't been doing that long. That's pretty good. It's only an hour and 4 minutes. Because I don't have to edit it.
That's true.
Fist pump. So what are your thoughts on Jason being added to the game? And I'm only asking this because, in my opinion, I think Jason should have been in the game. But with how many slasher killers are in this game,
He could be reskin.
I don't think it would be worth it to even add him as a character. But what do you think about it?
I really feel like he's basically the Trapper. He's basically got the same appearance as the
Okay,
Trapper.
I
He's
thought
got
you were-
the mask.
Okay, the appearance, thank God. I was like,
He's got the mask and the sword. Now, I don't. He
Machete.
doesn't use bear traps, obviously, but I mean, look at this photo of him. Not that one.
yeah,
got the
that's the
sword,
more
the
popular.
mask.
Yeah,
That's basically the Trapper.
yeah.
And honestly, at this point, it could be another licensing thing, or they
Well,
just haven't felt like doing it.
They just barely. His license just became a whole. There's a
Just
whole
didn't.
thing about his license being renewable and stuff.
I think it'd be cool if they made a new killer, but at the
They're not
same
gonna be able to hear
time,
Sorry.
It's okay.
But at the same time, they could put in a lot more effort into a more unique killer, and then just make him the skin of the Trapper,
That's what I'm thinking.
or even Myers.
Even Myers, yeah, and obviously those two don't work exactly the same. But think frame, think weapon. They're pretty
Well, it's just like,
pretty similar.
You've got the Resident Evil reskin of Blight, and then
Yeah.
Naughty Bear for the Trapper.
Hunk for Legion. Who
Yeah.
doesn't even have a gun as Legion, but whatever. I still think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's weird, because it's like, it's Jason. Of course they should add him, but like, it's Jason, and that's not anything too special
really
compared to the
feel
other
like-
characters, in my opinion.
I feel like the Trapper was heavily inspired by Jason.
I agree, and I think there would be a weird disconnect from the player base if they added Jason, because like, I need to watch Friday the 13th to know more about this, but I know a little bit about his superpowers, and he's not anything too far away from what we have in the game, just collect it. Like, there's so many killers in the game now. How could he be unique?
Yeah.
I don't think he could. But here's the problem is that if they were to add him, I don't even think I'd be mad. I think I'd be like, yeah, he kind of belongs here, you know?
Yeah.
But I'd rather have them spend time on any other killer and make a unique character than add a guy who's also a slasher, you know, just another dude with a mask and a machete.
Yeah.
So that's at least my thoughts on it.
So real quick, I'm looking up scariest monsters to refresh my brain.
Oh, here's another one I was thinking of. Just quick. I don't want to go into it right now because we should probably end the episode.
Probably should.
The Quiet Place Death Angels would make a really interesting mechanic in that game.
That's true.
I think they could do a lot with that.
They definitely could. Now, obviously, it's got like a similar appearance-ish to the Demogorgon, but the way they work is completely different.
I mean, do they? I don't know. I haven't seen like
okay,
the
well,
full...
they look completely different, but they're
the idea
long
is
leg
pretty similar.
stuff, whatever.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of horror movies is when you have enough creatures, everything starts to look the same eventually.
So,
but I mean, its shape is distinct enough that you could do a lot to make it cool because that's a Death Angel.
Yeah,
like
I think it's unique enough.
The only problem is, of course, a lot of horror movie monsters look pretty similar nowadays. With his closed face, it would obviously look incredibly similar to the Demogorgon. So
okay, here's one. I don't want the nun. I just feel like that'd be terrible, honestly.
Yeah. Annabelle as a skin for Chucky would be pretty sweet. You know? I mean, incredibly dumb, but I think it'd be cool.
Oh, that one movie.
Basically,
Insidious. I wonder if there's anything from there that could work. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this one character. It's from this movie. Something Maze Peter.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It's a movie. Oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called. I haven't seen it, but it's got this creepy. Oh wait, monster with eyes in its hands.
Oh my gosh, the
Oh, it's like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes, Pan's Labyrinth. I think you're right.
Labyrinth monster. That's not how you spell monster.
We need a.
Yeah, I know we need to end this, but
we need a. No, I was gonna say we need another. You know, we could use a third Resident Evil killer.
Oh, there's so many Resident Evil and Silent Hill killers. So
characters, you mean that could be killers? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Like the Licker.
Apparently,
cool.
this is a very iconic, scary monster.
That's terrifying. Jesus.
People often regard this as one of the scariest monsters, and I feel like people have requested this with Dead by Daylight before. What is it called? So it's the monster.
Keep your head this way so that we can actually hear you.
From Pan's Labyrinth with the eyes in his hands. If you guys want to look that up.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I feel like that would be. I have no idea how mechanics or attacks would be, but all I know is that he's pretty creepy and an iconic monster.
Yeah.
Well, and here's what's cool. Look at this photo of him with his hands on the table, like he doesn't have his hands. It's just creepy. His face. He's pretty creepy. I really like it.
I agree. They could also do
Pale Men, is that what it's called?
If nothing else, they could do a skin for this, but have you ever heard of The Thing? It's a really popular horror movie. It's really scary.
The Thing, I gotta look it up.
The Thing could easily when you look up The Thing, a lot of the results are the Fantastic Four, but this is what it looks like at the beginning of the movie when he hops out of a dog whose skin he just popped out of.
Oh man.
That's his face. Sir,
that thing is freaky.
Or maybe it's when he hops out of a guy.
How have I not seen this?
Point is, The Thing could make for a very cool and unique killer. We are
That'd be freaky.
So needing a killer that can replace. Oh, here's when he rips the dog's insides or skin off of his insides.
Man, those effects
they're pretty insane. They're practical
hilarious.
Effects. The Thing could easily make for a really cool killer. And
that'd be kind of like
we
unknown,
have needed a killer that replaces a survivor for the longest time, and we haven't gotten one. I would have thought by now that the Legion would have done that, but we didn't get one
Yeah.
with the Legion. And it's just weird. I just think there should have been some kind of killer that replaces one of the survivors, and I think the Thing would be a really cool way to do that, with him taking the body of one of the survivors he's killed or moried, and then using it as a vessel to walk around
That
to
could
scare
be
the killers.
a great, unique.
It would be a very
concept.
unique killer, and you would know that guy's dead, but when you're looking at a killer at a glance, you're not going to know
You know
that.
what's funny about that? They could have even done that with
Unknown?
Alien. I can't remember how it worked. I have seen Alien.
Well, Alien
but...
don't crawl.
Oh wait, it's the
Oh,
robot
do you mean the
guy.
face huggers?
Yeah, they could use face huggers, or when I'm talking about being corrupted, like using it as a vessel. I forgot. He's like a robot thing. But there's the one guy who betrays them, and
Do you mean
they
the
kill
Singularity?
him. No,
Oh, wait, is this a horror movie?
This is in Alien.
Oh,
The original Alien movie, there's a guy that tries, he's on the ship with them. He's supposed to be good, but ends up trying to kill him. But they kill
Stop
him.
doing
And,
that.
sorry, I don't know why I was doing that. But
fine.
then they kill him, and turns out he's a robot. And when they kill him, he spews out all this
weird.
white gooey stuff.
Weird. Yeah, but someone to replace the kill, like someone to crawl inside the skin of a. I know it sounds like I'm talking about this casually, but like
That'd be cool.
it would be cool, and it would make it so it would be so easy to catch someone off guard with that.
So out of all of our ideas, I feel like the Thing is going to be like the most unique.
I think it has the most potential to be mechanically cool and unique.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so sweet. So yeah. Anyway,
Or maybe you don't have the kill survivor, you just already are one.
I don't know.
Oh no, that's a good
There's
idea
so many
too.
ways I feel like you can
Like
work that into
replicate
the
one of the
game.
survivors.
Well, because here's the thing, you got to make sure
It's like
that
Among
it
Us.
works with the game and it's balanced.
It's like Among Us, bro. But maybe there's a cooldown before you can pop out of their skin and kill someone.
But here's
Because
the thing.
in the Thing, he has to get inside of someone, get inside the building before he can reveal himself as the Thing.
Or maybe there's already some dead person that spawns there with him, and he crawls in them.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing: why I say that he starts with someone is that what if they already know that it's the Thing?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's the
That's
thing.
funny.
True. It is.
It's got to catch them off guard because I don't know how it'd work. I don't know
I'm just
how
saying,
to balance it.
of all the killers we've come up with, I think this is probably the best idea
very cool.
that it could work. I think it would be great. Plus, it'd be kind of like, I hate to compare anything to this dumb game that I honestly love, but it's just cool Among Us in Dead by Daylight, and I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It would make for a very unique and fun playstyle. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening to us ramble for an hour, 15 minutes, and 10 seconds, and 11 seconds, and 12 seconds about Dead by Daylight and our many ideas.
Except we're going to edit this, and basically the first 10 minutes are... Well, we can...
Oh yeah, no, there's a good 5 minutes at the start that aren't going to make it in because we weren't even talking about anything. But anyway,
That kind of stuff.
thank you guys for 150
Thank you.
subscribers. Almost
148,
148
49.
subscribers.
It keeps switching between 48 and 49.
We'll do
and
it.
it's not because we keep losing one and gaining one. It
It's
just...
because it updates weird.
Yeah, it's...
But anyway, thank you for that. We promise to make more podcast episodes in the future. We've been running behind on those. Thank you so much for listening or watching or whatever.
Good night.
Good night. Let's not
What's
argue.
the opposite of arguing?
Agree.
Let's agree. Good night.
Bad night.
Let's agree.
Let's agree.
Bad night. Let's agree.
Anyway, peace out, guys.
Peace.
We love you. Bye.